AI-assisted coding has allowed independent builders to ship complex applications in a matter of days. A solo developer can now wire up a backend, a database, and an interface without writing the boilerplate themselves. But that raw velocity carries a hidden structural cost. Between 40 and 62, this was an automated pass through roughly 1,500 recent GitHub commits pushed by independent developers. While the developers slept, that scan found 32 live production-level API keys accidentally published directly into public repositories. These were active Stripe keys, capable of refunding money and reading customer cards. They were paired AWS credentials that an attacker could use to spin up thousands of dollars in unauthorized server costs in a matter of hours. Traditional enterprise security tools are designed for massive teams with large compliance budgets. The solo founder pushing code at midnight does not have a $20,000 annual budget or a chief information security officer. They have a 48-hour deadline. The current cybersecurity industry is structurally unequipped to protect these independent builders from catastrophic financial ruin. That structural gap is why Lictor-Ai was built. It is an open-source, entirely localized security scanner architected specifically to defend the independent developer. The standard problem with automated security scanners is alert fatigue. They generate a heavy volume of false positives, which quickly trains developers to ignore the warnings entirely. Lictor bypasses this by routing your code through an architecture of 11 distinct named AI agents. Each agent holds a specialized analytical role to verify the findings. The critical filter here is an agent named Owl. It acts as a strict quality gate, automatically blocking any security finding that scores below a high confidence threshold. It prefers skipping a noisy alert over shipping a wrong one. Those verified findings are then passed to Lyrebird. Lyrebird translates complex vulnerability jargon into clear, plain English instructions. Instead of a vague warning about an information disclosure, it tells you exactly what line of code is exposing your database. When you are moving at the speed of AI development, an automated security system is only useful if it offers absolute transparency, plain English, and a near-zero false positive rate. Operating a system capable of uncovering hundreds of live vulnerabilities across the internet every night presents a severe ethical dilemma. The project operates on a strict ethos. There is no public naming and shaming of victims. The vulnerability data is never held hostage behind a paywall, and the software contains absolutely no user telemetry. Behind the scenes, this requires an immense amount of manual effort, processing over 300 coordinated vulnerability disclosures quietly and ethically, directly to the affected companies. This uncompensated labor is driven by a specific moral perspective, captured by a rabbinic quote the author uses. A sane person ought to go mad. One who does not, here is proof he is not sane. Lictor represents a philosophical stance on how open-source security must operate to protect the next generation of builders. This rigorous architecture is available to any independent developer entirely for free. The installation process is completely frictionless. It requires a single / command to run locally inside standard AI coding environments like Cursor or Claude Code. It acts at the exact moment of danger. It catches a vulnerable key in your local file, intercepting it exactly 1 second before you commit it to a public repository. Because everything runs locally, absolute privacy is guaranteed. Your proprietary code and your sensitive keys never leave your own laptop. The most effective defense against the sheer speed of AI-generated flaws is an equally frictionless, locally executed AI security layer that intercepts the mistakes before they ship. For the solo developer, adopting Lictor establishes a necessary community standard for survival in a highly exposed environment. Built on an Apache 2.0 open-source license, anyone can read the agent's source files, fork the code, and verify the trust themselves. We are seeing rapid global adoption as developers are waking up to the inherent blind spots in their own AI-generated code. Vibe code freely, innovate rapidly, but implement the open-source shield required to survive the deployment. Review the code and secure your project at Lictor.ai.